Hello, sir. Welcome to the next session of Thoughts on Education by College Dunia. So, today we have Dr. G.P. Mishra, the Director of Corporate Relationship Cell at Sage University, Indore. So, before starting with the interview, I would like you to, tell us about yourself.
See, it's a very simple introduction. I had been with the industry earlier in my career, and then somewhere around the turn of the century, I decided to join academics to share that experience, and that's how I am here and since last about 20 years into it.
That's great, sir. So you mentioned that you have been in this industry for 20 years and you have held a key positions at education institutes throughout your professional career. I would like to know what are the key factors that keep you so grounded and so connected with this education sector?
See, industry was very different. In fact, we owned a factory and we were manufacturing something. But when when I came here in academics, and particularly in training and placement, because that meant better as I had an industry experience and the students wanted to go to the industry, so meant that made sense. So here things were not as uh, people perceive it from outside. It was a great responsibility. I also realized in the first few months only that it's not simply that we have to place students. It's about their family. It's about their careers, their immediate family, which comes later. So we have to think from those aspects and then go for their jobs and all things related to jobs. So uh, now that created a kind of passion, and that kept ticking because this was not only academic, it was much beyond academics. So this is how I got connected.
Truly well said, sir. You have mentioned how you have been in this sector for a long time, but
Yeah.
I would like to know, being the director of, CRC at Sage University, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style throughout all your career?
Okay. See, very long back, when the management careers were starting, I was amongst the first few batches of management from this state, Madhya Pradesh. So, and what we learned there about leadership was there are followings of the great leaders, then behavioral leadership, this leadership, that autocratic leaders. But when I came here, um, mm, I think it was inclusive. Uh, I would like to name it as inclusive leadership because, uh, going back to my last answer, we have to empathize with people because they come from very different backgrounds. There are some affluent people, some uh, people with good attributes, and there are people who want to learn and they didn't have the opportunities to learn earlier. So, unless we have an inclusive approach or inclusive leadership, we cannot move with them. So we have to empathize, and I would like to name it as the philosophy of inclusion because see a little bit more. I would like to tell you we have to deal with the affluent people, and there is a big portion which is the last, the lowest, the least, and the lost, and we cannot ignore them, and we have to build them up, and we have to restructure them, realize their potential first. Empathizing is learning about them first, and then making them recognize what they possess, remind them, and then reposition them for industry. So this is how I work. This is my philosophy.
Truly said, sir. The inclusivity style of leadership, that's something unique that I have heard of. Now, my next question to you is, you came to this institute. When you came to this institute, what was your vision then, and how are you trying to achieve the same? Like, have you achieved it, or do you have any other goals with the institute? What would you like to say about that?
See, I had been lucky. God has been great. God was kind to me. Means I had been associated with very good institutes earlier in my career, as in the job also, and my vision was very clear. Our vision, I should say, that whole team has got the same vision. So it was very clear that we have to make each individual best employable in the contemporary positions from whatever stream they are coming from. They can be from biosciences, they can be from management, whichever stream. Now, beyond this, we have a responsibility towards some entrepreneurs who have got an entrepreneurship bug inside them. And then we have to promote for higher education. And there are about, I think, the substantial number, like 15 to 20% are from their family-owned businesses. So we have to hone their skills for family-owned businesses. So broadly, what we wanted to do was to enhance their skills to a point where whatever choice they made, they could do well in that and build a career for life in that. So this was the philosophy working.
That's nice to hear, sir. So coming to the most important question, since you are heading the placement cell, so yeah, we would like to know, like, what is the placement statistics of your institute this year, or if you could state the numbers for the last year, and about more of that, like, if you could state, like, what's the average package, or tell us about the highest package offered to the student, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll sum this up in one answer. See, there's a myth going that institutes have 100% placements, and I don't buy it. After 20 years in this line, and perhaps in every state, people have been coming to our college for placements. Earlier, when we started the fundamental of pool drives. So right from the beginning, we had organized way back in 2002 and 3. We started conducting pool drives for the whole state, and then somebody came from Tekanpur as a place near Gwalior, and see, that opened our eyes. Means how these people pay for the students, and they were so concerned about they had brought out the last penny in the deepest pocket, and they had made the students, the boy, learn something. And the father was retiring, and then he had the entire aspiration with the son that once he is placed, he is going to pay back. Now, I'm coming back to your question. So now, this is how we have to see the scene. It's not about percentage or numbers, because that says a different story. We have to look at them like humans, like families, and they are going to have families further. So see, I don't buy this that 100% placement. See, maybe somebody is doing. Even IIMs and IITs, they never claim that they have got 100% placements, because we are not placing people who are going for higher studies. We are also not placing people who are going for entrepreneurship or who have got their own businesses. We cannot place them. They have got some occupation. And then some people have very different. I'll cite an example. I know that boy. He's closely related to our family. He was with IIT. IIM Indore, and after doing his IIM, he got a package he was placed in Dubai somewhere in a very good company. He decided to leave that, and today what he is doing, he's pursuing a passion. He has got a band, and they play well. So see, we cannot place him. So we cannot place 100% student, but like any good institute, we have got 65 to 70% placement depending on the batch passing out. Sometimes it's more than 70%. We are new. We have been in this from 2017 only. So we are upgrading each year by number, quality, and the type of recruiters. Everywhere we are doing better. And last year, if we speak, we had more than 100 recruiters coming to our university for different streams. All streams were not passing out then. We have got 14 institutes here, and all 14 were not at the passing out stage last year, but still we had some 100 odd recruiters. And year before last, we had an average package of 3.06, which has risen last year to 3.36 lakhs per annum. And this year we are targeting somewhere around 3.8. Now, for 1,000 students batch passing out, this difference of 40,000 in the average package says a lot, because we should have brought some very good recruiters with very high packages to match this up as an average. So about the highest packages, that we had offered. There was a company from computer science. Generally, they pay this kind of packages. The mechanical people also pay. Now, they were offering 30 lakhs per annum. None of our students could make it. We are, as I said, we are in the building up stage. A lot of rigorous trainings are going on, but the best that our students could get was a 10 lakhs package year before last and a 12 lakhs package in the last year. So this is the highest that we could go. And I think this should, this is
Yes,
what I think. Right.
so yeah, first of all, that was a really nice story on how a boy, who pursued his passion over his work. That was a really nice story, and it should inspire many, to be honest. And another thing is that I really appreciate your honesty on how you put in the numbers on how 65 to 75% of students will be are placed, or the number that you put in for the average and highest package. I'm sure that it's going to help students to know better about your institute. So thank you so
Right.
much for that. Yeah. So moving on to the next questions, in today's time, like the studies are important, but at the same time, there are different approaches that a universities pursue, right, for their students. So I just want to know, like, what are the interventions and approaches that you or the university bring in apart from the curriculum to teach the students and, help them to get in the outside world?
Right. So, certain things we have to go take from the conservative. Certain things we put in as contemporary. See, like we had put up an innovation center. Now, this is the only one of its kind in Indore, and perhaps the third of its kind in whole of Madhya Pradesh. Now, this innovation center has got lot of libraries at one place, and they have got lot of mind maps. What is an innovation center? You come up with ideas, or you discuss with us for new ideas, or you discuss with your faculty, or there are companies which are going for innovation challenges. So you participate from there and you get the idea from there. Once you come to the innovation center, you get a lot of help through mind maps. And there are huge libraries. Since everybody is computer savvy, 17 GB is a very large space, and this has got 17 GB of functional attributes, and from here they take their cues, and then they have to go back to their respective laboratories. The biosciences people have to go there, pharmacy for the because deliverables are mechanical, they are tangible, and here what they do is intangible part. And in the innovation center, we also help them. Their faculty helps them. We have got some very good faculty here. So now, combined together, this effort, this helps students to participate in the challenges, produce something very new, innovate on their own, and this is a flip-sided learning. So while making something mechanical, see, it cannot be restricted to one technology. Say, for example, an ATM, it has got a mechanical delivery, communication. See, the interface that you see is designed by computer science people, and that connects to the hardware with a chip which is made by electronics and communications people. So even the students from mechanical engineering learn so many softwares for computer science, and similarly vice versa. Now, this is a great learning experience when they work practically. So there's an innovation center that way. And from there, they can go for, if they have come with their own ideas, they can go for a patent. We have a different wing with us. They can go for intellectual property rights. And if they want to go for entrepreneurship with that idea, they are free. We have got EDC cell supporting this very thing. We have got an incubator. So this is one part. Then we go for one-on-one counseling, because see, I think we will take some time here. Just give me 2 minutes for.
No problem, sir. Yeah.
In the third year of computer science, a girl comes to me. That was on my job. Immediately before that, a girl comes to me and she says, "Sir, मुझे computer science में, मुझे programming में नहीं जाना है." Now this was really surprising, shocking rather, that person spending 3 years doesn't want to go for programming. So the first reaction was, what is your percentage of marks? And she had more than 80% throughout, that is in engineering and 12th and 10th. And currently she was pursuing with 84%. And she doesn't want to. So I told her that if you had something else in mind, why didn't you go? Now the value system comes in. पापा ने कहा कि गर्ल्स के लिए कंप्यूटर साइंस ज़्यादा अच्छा, so मैंने ले लिया. But should you have not awakened earlier so that? But this gave me a great thought. Then we went out and reached the students for, if they don't want to go for a certain type of job, then what they would like to do. We collected opinions. We made 8 segments in computer science companies for that particular batch, and thereafter we have taken as one-to-one counseling now. But for that batch, we made 8 segments. One was very marginal computer science technology, but a lot of art and graphics. And another was core database handling, not much of programming, but database handling. So, we had a fantastic placement that time because it was customized for the batches. So the nearest that we could offer them, and by their interest. And then we promote the multidisciplinary approach. We are very lucky that we have got such a big canvas to work upon. We have got 14 different institutes, agriculture, design. Design is the most promising. I would recommend that people should go for design, because design is not only Mehndi design and tie and dye print. That is only a part. It is artwork. Means Akriti or Kalakriti. So this is Kalakriti, artwork. And when we say design, it is Akriti. And so there is a lot of scope: communication design, systems design, design of products. See, design has got unimaginable potential in the coming future. So, but that we have to promote. And somebody from our college, Ankur sir, is doing that, and Dr. Pratik Jain. So, but this is what we promote. Now, whenever somebody comes to us, we try to educate them on these lines. And we are practicing on this. We go to the batches, we train them. There's a multidisciplinary learning also. We have got some short courses, like from 6 weeks to 3 months, we have got courses. Somebody in management can go and learn photography at the Institute of Journalism. Now, they become more valuable. They can pursue a passion. They can go for a passive income, or they can go for something like videography. So that way we promote such things. See, education is one part, so like a 50% part. The rest of the 50% is more valuable, which is going to see them throughout the life, and that is what we promote here.
Definitely, sir. It makes so much sense. The story about that girl who didn't wanted to pursue computer science and wanted to do something else. I think most of us, like including me, would relate to the fact that this happens with all the institutes, like almost all the institutes and the students, and how you step in by giving the counseling. It truly makes all sense, sir. So it was very nice to hear about all the interventions that you do. So moving on, like we are talking about the students and how you are preparing with all the interventions, you're preparing them for a better, for a better world and stepping into the outside corporate world. But I want to know, like, how do you motivate those students to cope up with such a huge competition that's been going on around the world? Everybody wants to be at the best. Everybody wants to, have the best of the offers from their institutes. So how do you motivate those students?
Okay, part of it I agree, part of it I would like to put in my views also. I have always believed, right from when we were in 10th class, I was educated well. The St. Paul School had German principal, German teachers that time. So we were very well schooled. So when we were going for board exam, within the house and outside, there was a great panic made about it. It's all board hai. And I think that was the easiest exam that I had appeared for. Well, so that made a change on my mind. When there is a large competition somewhere, actually the competitors are very few. There can be a large competition. So I don't believe in that competition is very tough. It's a competition from lot of people. There I agree, but the competition is not tough if you have done the right homework. So now with relevant skills, aptitude, and attitude that we try to build up here, my kids can challenge anybody, and we are showing it by numbers each year, and very soon everybody will know it that where we belong, and then it is definitely added by because the technologies are changing every 2.5 years. The business patterns are changing, then a lot of things are changing every 2 to 2.5 years, 3 years. There's a big change in the business environment, and we have to first update ourselves for the future of careers. Then we promote it as awareness and information to the students. And after this information, we get them the internships and experiential learnings with the industry of that kind. And once they are comfortable with the environment, they make it on their own. And placements are never done. Placements happen. We build them up for communication, for different skills. Certain things are inherent, certain things are imbibed. So we build them up for the imbibed things, and we make them aware of things happening, and then we put them through to a lot of opportunities, and it happens. It does happen. So I never thought that this was a challenge. Perhaps since so long, almost 2 decades into it, I did not take it that way, that because this was a gradual change for me, which comes as an abrupt change for somebody else. But certainly I don't find anything challenging. See, in whatever job you are, it can be your job, it can be my job. See, we have to learn. Today what I am learning did not need to be learned 5 years earlier. So even if people are placed, they have to learn there. So today we make them learn on something which can get them through to the industry, and tomorrow they'll be learning to retain their job, because that this technology will become obsolete. They'll have to learn something. So we groom them well, we train them well, we make them aware, we make them practice with the industry, and then we leave them for the finals to play. So this is how we work.
So I really like your confidence for your students on how they're all ready for the industry. And I really like your philosophy that if you do your homework well, there's no competition as such for you. So yeah, I really like that. So like we are moving to the end. So I need to know, like, what do you see as the greatest strength for your university, like for Sage University Indore? What do you see as the greatest strength?
Dimple, thank you for this question. But here, in addition to the environment, the infrastructure, our location, and lot of things which can be made up by money, I would like to mention some names which had been the strengths, and then I'll certainly cite. Let's see the biggest strength of Sage Group. Not only this university, we have got a university at Bhopal. We have got 4 colleges which are about 14 years old. So the biggest strength has always been the student-oriented approach. We also have a school. So perhaps two schools. So the student-oriented approach to facilitate and enrich the students. Facilitate in all processes, enrich them as a human being, as an academician, and a prospective employee. So enriching there and facilitating them in the process everywhere. So this has been one big strength everywhere. The group is into so many other businesses. They are into renewable energy. They are also into construction. But everywhere the philosophy is the same, to facilitate and enrich the customer. They want to see the customer happy, in one word. And this has been the philosophy, which is the biggest strength. Now, I would like to take a few names. See, this flows right from the top. And not because I'm here, no, I really find our Chancellor, Engineer Sanjeev Agrawal, a very different man. In fact, I told him once that when I see you, I don't feel very happy. And he was rather shocked. So I told him that I should have met you about 20 years back, and I would have been a very different man today. So that pinches me when I meet you. So uh, now he's a bundle of foresight and dynamism. Whatever none of us can think, he'll bring up with a brilliant idea, very simple and very executable, and he does it very fast. And that is one major cause of his growth anywhere. And so he's one. And then our our VC, Dr. Ankur Kulkarni, Ankul Arun Kulkarni, he is one man. He should be he's a very modest man and so much laden. As they say that the trees laden with fruits always bow down, is one of that kind. And he should I have seen so many people throughout this journey, and I believe that he belongs to the international club of top academicians. He's a very learned man. Then I would certainly like to name one Dr. Prashant Jain, who is the pro-chancellor of this university. And now I'm talking about the big strengths also, because these are the strengths. And Dr. Prashant Jain should be called the solutions man. Means he has got solutions for everything. Bring in whatever complicated thing you have, and he has got a very smooth solution for it. So and sitting at the top, he can execute it. So he is one man. And then we have got two young executive directors, Sakshi Agrawal and Shivani Agrawal. Very well read, from very good institutes, and they are full of ideas. And in fact, in each department, when they put in their ideas and they pursue it, sometimes the ideas don't work. Most of the times they work. But people sitting at that position and then being so modest and so humble in their approach is really a big strength of the group. I would certainly not conclude before taking the names of our registrar, Dr. Chaudhary, and Dean, Dr. Sudhir Agrawal. These two people, one makes, see, with all the innovations in the university, we have to have a very strong framework. Otherwise, things will go haywire. Now, that is made by Dr. Chaudhary. He is the registrar. And our Dean, Dr. Sudhir Agrawal, he is the person who gets the whole of the academics executed, and he has a microscopic eye, and nothing can escape his attention if it's going haywire. He'll bring it, and very, very knowledgeable man. Means he has got all knowledge from AICT rules to UGC to how the exams have to be conducted, everything. And then, like a black cat sitting in a dark room, only the cat knows what it is doing. So we have to let ourselves known also. So we have Dr. Ankur Saxena and Dr. Prateek Jain, who do that part. For whatever good we are doing here, they make it public to the world, and they let us. So they are again a big pillar of this. So these are the major strengths of the Sage University, starting with, once again, the student-oriented approach or the customer-oriented approach. We have got a multidisciplinary learning environment. We focus on innovative practices, live projects, multidisciplinary learning, research, innovation, and patents. I don't think any university has put in so many as we have done.
So apart from all these things that you have mentioned, I truly believe that you have put in all the pillars together and have showed that how strong the university is.
Yes,
and
yes.
How beautifully you described all their functions with the black cat and with the good eye. That was really nice to hear, sir. So we are just to the end of the interview. That's just one thing that I would like to ask. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students who are gonna pursue further studies or are in the education right now, do you have any suggestions for them?
Yeah. Dimple, may I know how many minutes we are left with? Because then I'll modulate my answer by that.
So I think like since we are on Zoom and we have like a certain, I think we have 5-7 minutes more.
Fine,
Yeah.
that is good enough. Okay. Now, I would like to say that either they realize on their own about the, what are their best, what are they best at, what do they like. Means they should realize their passion and start working on something which can add to that as a profession. Now, I'll tell you. See, there is a high competition, and but there are a lot of jobs because technologies are changing every day. So with the new arrival of new type of technologies, new type of processes, new type of factories coming in, there are a lot of jobs. So these people have to be adaptable. They cannot remain thinking that I am a mechanical engineer. How do I relate to having a software experience? They'll be out. I'll narrate the example of a girl who connected with me on LinkedIn from Lucknow. I didn't know her. Said that you are into placement and you have written that so many years I'm into placement. Can you suggest me? I'm a mechanical engineer. I asked her to send her CV. Then I suggested that why don't you go for design? So this is not a sweat and blood job. So you can. She was okay with that. So then she again asked. I suggested her a couple of names from Pune. That these are the institutes which can get you 7 layers of learning on design. Now she was determined and she went there and got that done. Then that institute was placing the students from the institute only, and uh, if they had an offer, they would not allow the person to sit for another one. So she called me up that today this company is here. They are a core mechanical company, but they are giving me a job in. There's a particular technology for 2D design. It is AutoCAD, 3D also. I denied her that this is not going to take you very far. So let's drop I don't know how many more will come, but this was a good offer, so but I still denied it. The second day she called again that today there's a jewelry company from Surat, and as such they are not a mechanical company, they are making ornaments. So but I thought it proper to ask you because this is not a mechanical engineering company. When you come out of it, this is the company for you, and since they're dealing in jewelry, they'll pay you well. And designing a metal, whether it is in a factory or in a laboratory in Surat, makes the same sense. And she got placed and she got a very good package also. So people have to learn, see, they have to have a vision of where they are, where they have to go. Then couple of things, since you said 5 minutes, I'll make use of that 3 minutes or so more. And since ages, there has been a very strong emphasis on communication. Now, communication today is not only written or spoken communication, it is like audio, podcasts, this is video, what we are discussing, it's a communication, we are talking. And see, if somebody is promoting themselves through a video, they better know video editing. So everybody needs to focus on their communication skills for future, whoever, they may be students, they may not be students. Even if I'm going for a HR interview, now this generally says that you should have a knowledge of law and you should be able to make documents, then so many rules you should know. So that is one part. But what am I doing? I'm communicating with people. I have to learn to communicate with people. I have to show presentations. I have to write letters. I have to write memos. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं, एक लेडी अभी कोविड का इतना चला था तो सी दे वर आइसोलेटेड, हॉस्पिटल में कहाँ है, डॉक्टर भी नहीं जाते थे, सिर्फ उनके रीडिंग्स पे से कुछ उनका मेडिकेशन भेज दिया जाता था उस जगह, एंड सम वर्कर्स वुड टेक दैट, बट even doctors didn't visit them, and the person was totally isolated in the hospital. So there's a very cute small slip written by some children of a lady. मम्मी हम नीचे हैं, आपकी तबीयत ठीक हो रही है, हम आपको साथ में लेके जाएंगे, कुछ ही दिन की बात है. See, this communication, this is night and day. The difference it does to a psyche of a person. Small slip, नीचे गुड्डी पप्पू सबके नाम. How much solace that lady should have gone that my family is here waiting for me to take me away. See, communication has to be like this. It should reach the person's heart, and for this communication you have to work, and then you have to create a digital personality. Digital personality, you have to have an Instagram profile, you have to have a LinkedIn profile. Unless in this crowd, if you are not a known face, who's going to go and search out your attributes? You have to show your attributes. So you have to have a digital personality, and then whatever stream you are selecting, you should know that how is it going to pay you in the future, and what can be the possible changes in this stream. So these are the possible combinations which I see that everybody has to work on it, whether a student or not. But whoever is targeting a job should focus on this. And then I have not concluded yet. So see, everybody should think about a passive income. So if you suddenly I'll cite one more example. एक स्टूडेंट था हमारा, उसका मन नहीं लगता था पढ़ने में, तो सर मुझे जॉब तो करना है लेकिन मैं क्या करूं, आई एम वेरी कंफ्यूज. इलेक्ट्रिकल कम होती है ब्रांच, इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ब्रांच का, बट समहाउ स्टडीज वाज गुड, उसके परसेंटेज अच्छे आते थे 70-75%, पर मेरा मन इसमें नहीं लगता, मैं जॉब में तो जाना ही नहीं चाहता हूँ इलेक्ट्रिकल के. तो वो he was somewhere, he sent a couple of photographs. He said, I'm here, and now I saw those photographs. These days you cannot spoil a photograph because each camera, your mobile, are so technically advanced that you cannot spoil a photograph. It is technically good, but what they can't do is having a camera eye. So for framing a photograph, you are the person. How much should be cropped? How much zooming should be there? And what angle? So that part camera cannot do. And both the photographs were very well framed. So I suggested him, why don't you learn photography? And he said, sir, ye mujhe acha bhi lagta. Today, he went to Bangalore. He learned there for 3 years. Now he's in Mumbai and he's got an expertise in videography. And now he's assistant to a very famous photographer, and they are working together with Balaji Telefilms. So this is what he is doing, an engineer, electronics. So see, people have to understand this. What I was reminding was that you should have at least something. कुछ नहीं तो आप अपनी सैलरी जमा करके थोड़ी थोड़ी एक फ्लैट ले लो छोटा, and put 3 girls there. You should have a passive income. This is because see, आप अपना core work करिए. You have to be very ethical with your job, not at the cost of your job. Somebody is paying you for it, you have to be honest to them. Not that, but you have a free time yourself that you should consume for yourself. Now, unless you have a passive income, you will not have the courage to stand up and talk face to face with your senior and say, sir, this is a spade, it's not a diamond, and I will call it a spade. So this strength will come when you have got a passive income. So always go for a passive income with one of your talents. You apply there and you will enjoy it, because that is what is your passion is being converted into money. So then few things, just a list of 10 things, I'm not going to elaborate. These don't require any training. Being on time, work ethics, putting in effort, extra effort for your work, what you have to execute, your body language and energy, your attitude towards your work and work environment. कभी बुराई नहीं करना चाहिए अपनी जगह. Your livelihood is coming from there. कुछ आप कहीं भी जाएंगे कुछ चीजें आपके पसंद की नहीं होंगी, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट द ओनर, समबडी एल्स इज ऑल्सो, बट you should have an attitude and an aptitude to fall in tune with that, and a passion towards your work. You should be trainable. You should always be available for training, because that's how you will grow. And do a little extra. You can do it. You can do it, that little extra. And this is how you'll be recognized throughout the top people. And these don't require any coaching, any training. You just have to realize and build it, bring it out. So this is my message to the young people.
So that
Rather
was
long.
very wholesome. Like, if I need to like sum up, I could like what I could recall from all of it, that you need to be adaptable to the situation. You need to have a passion for your career. You need to have something apart from your own career that you could have a passive income from. You need to have digital personalities, and the list of so many things that you have mentioned. So it was really nice to hear all of that. Personally, it would help me also. So it's for everyone, I believe, and not just for students.
Thank you, Dimple.
You know, because of the rich experience that you have, I believe like I got inspired a lot, and many of the students would get inspired the same that I had. So thank you so much for your
One
time,
little
sir. It
request
was
I have
very
to,
nice to talk to you.
sorry, a little
Yes,
request
sir.
I have to make, means whoever is listening to our
Yes,
interview, if they have anything like doubts, means it's not necessary that all of people, they come and take admission in, they can be placed in remote areas. But if they have any doubts,
yes,
they can reach out to our training and placement cell for guidance also, because we'll be happy to provide a guidance to people who have doubts anywhere for their careers. And if we are able to help them, I think that is, we'll be contributing to the overall objective of the group, that we want to keep lives happy. So we are open to that.
sure, sir, definitely. I'll forward this thing to the content team also, and they'll look forward to
And
it.
Dimple,
Thank you so much for your time. Yes, sir.
one very last thing, I want to thank my
Yes,
team,
sir.
because what they see, I am what they are. So we have got two trainers, excellent 12, 13 years of experience, best of the institutes. One is from Sydenham, another is from Sydenham, Mumbai, another is from a very renowned management institute of India. Then we have a 14-year experience, Mr. Lokre. One trainer is Mr. Parakram Chaube. He has been into this training since last 14 years. Rashika Joshi, she is from a very premium institute. 14, 15 years old, my colleague, Mr. Naveen Gurjar. He has been head of training and placement in so many good institutes. And part of a complementary position to me is from Dr. Prateek Jain, and I thank all these people through this medium and as such, because these are the people who can actually lead all students, ours or from outside. Anybody should feel free to contact them. We are open. Thank you, Dimple, for all
Sure,
this.
sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you for having us.